Everyone knows Bluey is one of the most amazing animated shows in recent years, and for good reason. All of its characters are super charming.
Yes, good exercise!
But did you know there are tons of little details in the episodes that reveal much more about Bluey, her friends, and her family? One of the most heartwarming episodes of Bluey is Camping, where the little blue pup forms an adorable friendship with Jean-Luc, a Labrador from Canada visiting Australia with his family. The two can't even speak the same language since Jean-Luc only speaks French. Unfortunately, their time together is cut short when Jean-Luc has to return to his home country. Despite their brief time together, Jean-Luc clearly left a lasting impression on Bluey. We know this because Bluey drew a sweet picture of herself and her Canadian friend playing together and hung it up in her house. You can catch a subtle glimpse of this drawing in episodes like Bingo and The Show. If you've ever had a friend move far away, you know exactly how Bluey feels. But don't worry, at some point in the future, we know these two will reunite. Want to discover more hidden backstories you never noticed in Bluey? Grab some popcorn and get ready to be surprised. It's time for another Cinewave. Coco has a big family, and when I say big, I mean huge. Her mom managed to have 9 puppies. It's funny because Coco's mom is one of the few dog moms in the show to have a litter size that's actually realistic for a dog. But today, we're focusing on Coco's siblings. They haven't had much of a spotlight. Their first appearance was in Baby Race, but only in a family photo. Specifically, it's a picture from when Coco was still a tiny puppy. So everyone in the photo is clearly younger. In Explorers, we get to see Coco's siblings as they are now. The only problem? They appear so far in the background that they're almost impossible to spot. The only noticeable difference is that Coco's siblings are much older now. It's incredible that the animators behind Bluey paid attention to such a tiny detail instead of simply keeping them young, even though most viewers wouldn't look closely enough to notice. It just goes to show the creators' dedication, knowing there are fans like us who love analyzing every little detail of the show. In the episode Pass the Parcel, Bingo and a group of kids play a party game during Chucky's birthday. In this version of the game, everyone gets a prize in the end. But at one point, Pat, Lucky's dad, changes the rules so only one child can win. This leaves Bingo and the other kids in tears, running to their mothers. Here's where things get interesting. Every child present looks identical to their mom. Except for Missy. For some reason, Missy is a completely different breed from her mom. This is a subtle clue that Missy might have been adopted and doesn't share a biological connection with her family. Of course, this doesn't make her any less of a daughter to her mom, but it's such a thoughtful detail that most cartoons wouldn't even think to include it. It's just another reason why watching this show is such an amazing experience. If you agree, comment #details below so we can see how many Bluey fans are out there. The Healer family may face challenges now and then, but they always work things out in a healthy way, usually with a good conversation to resolve any conflict. Unfortunately, it seems like this isn't always the case for Stripe's family. Stripe, Bandit's brother and Bluey's uncle, appears to have a more turbulent household. You probably remember Bluey's 2 cousins, Muffin and Socks, Stripe's daughters. Muffin, the older of the two, is particularly unruly. In the episode Facey Talk, she refuses to share a phone with Socks. When Stripe takes the phone away, Muffin swipes it from him and hides so she can keep playing. While Muffin is on a video call with Bluey and Bingo, the 2 sisters can see Stripe and his wife, Trixie, arguing in the background about how to handle their daughter's behavior. Muffin seems unfazed by the argument, almost as if she's used to these disputes, an indication that Stripe's home environment might be a bit unstable. Though the audio is muted shortly after, Stripe and Trixie are seen holding hands and hugging, showing that despite their frequent disagreements, they always make up. It's normal for couples to have conflicts, especially when raising a spirited child like Muffin. However, in the episode The Sign, which takes place during Radley and Frisky's wedding, the couple is shown arguing again. This suggests there might still be room for improvement in their relationship. Perhaps a bit of couples therapy could help Bluey's aunt and uncle find more peace at home, don't you think? Bluey's teacher Calypso was featured in her very own episode. This episode not only shows what her day is like as she looks after the kids, but also gives us a sweet backstory about a new student named Pretzel. As it's his first day of school, Pretzel doesn't know how to fit in, and the other kids don't know how to approach him, especially since he's so shy and introverted. However, as Calypso encourages the kids to play together more, Pretzel eventually decides to join in on his own and even interacts with her. By the end of the episode, it's clear Calypso will help Pretzel connect with the rest of the class. In later episodes, he's shown to be closer to his peers and more comfortable around them, though he retains his introverted nature. Did you notice that even the non-dog animals in Bluey have their own backstories? Wait, most of the show's characters are dogs, but you get the idea. I'm talking about the non-anthropomorphic animals. Take, for example, the family of birds that appears in several episodes. At first glance, they seem to be going about their daily lives. However, there's an intriguing detail. The birds mirror the struggles of the Heeler family in the same episode. This is first seen in Trampoline, where Bluey and Bingo are upset that Bandit has to stop playing with them to leave on a work trip. At the end of the episode, we see a bird's nest. The chicks react the same way as Bluey and Bingo, crying when their mother flies away. In Curry Quest, something similar happens. Bingo doesn't want her dad to leave for a long work trip, and again, the birds parallel this by showing the chicks distressed when their mother leaves to fetch food. This subtle but meaningful connection adds depth to the show, making it even more rewarding for keen-eyed viewers. If you love catching these little details as much as we do, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That way, you'll get daily content about Bluey and other amazing shows. Bandit has long passed his prime and is slowly getting older, a natural part of life for anyone lucky enough to live that long. In Bluey, we often see moments where Bluey's dad gets easily worn out after even mildly strenuous physical activities like carrying Bingo or running. There are also subtle hints that Bandit is conscious about maintaining his well-being. For instance, in his office, instead of a regular chair, he uses a yoga ball. This is likely because he spends most of his day sitting while working from home on his computer. Using a yoga ball while working helps him stay active and avoid health complications from prolonged sitting. We've also seen him mention needing vitamins and even stopping by a pharmacy to buy some in the episode TV Shop. On top of that, Bandit is shown checking his blood pressure at a doctor's office. At least we know Bluey's dad is taking steps to care for his health. It would be truly heartbreaking if anything bad happened to him. Busker is a minor character who occasionally shows up in Bluey. As a street performer, he's always playing different instruments to entertain his audience and earn tips. But his talents don't stop at music. He can also officiate weddings. That's right, just like a priest. This is revealed in the sign where Busker officiates Frisky and Radley's wedding. Why he's qualified to perform weddings isn't entirely clear, but it hints at an intriguing backstory. Perhaps at one point in his life, Busker dreamed of becoming a priest before deciding to pursue street performance. Maybe he even got ordained during that time. Or perhaps Busker, as a multi-talented artist, wanted to explore multiple careers, one of which happened to be priesthood. Now I can't stop picturing him in priestly robes, strumming a guitar during a ceremony. It's hard to say for sure, but it's fun to imagine how someone like Busker might have taken a completely different path in life. Speaking of the sign, this episode introduces us to a beautiful little butterfly named Flappy. Surprisingly, this butterfly plays a pivotal role in shaping the Heeler family's journey during the episode. But Flappy had actually appeared before this episode as a tiny caterpillar. This happened in Slide, where the little caterpillar was discovered and rescued by Bingo and her good friend Leela. Thanks to their care, the caterpillar eventually transformed into the butterfly that later returned to help Bluey and Bingo in the penultimate episode of Season 3. This video is coming to an end, but we've left 2 amazing recommendations on your screen. Click on one to keep the fun going. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!